Okay, my name's Morgan Bartz. This is my second speech for Communications 101, and this is my 9 people. And these are my note cards. Alright. Okay, so we've all been exposed to human trafficking at some point in our life. No, I don't mean we've had a face-to-face encounter with it, but whether you watch the news, a TV series, a movie, we have all either seen, heard, or have read about it. Human trafficking is a worldwide issue that the law enforcement are battling every single day to try and put an end to it, including right here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas has thousands of people coming in every single day to have the Las Vegas experience, whether that's on the Strip or whether that's down on Fremont Street. Just like many of us, a lot of those vacationers do not think about the crimes that go on around in Las Vegas, including human trafficking. Just last year, the police reported that over 2,200 calls went to the human trafficking hotline, and over 200 of those have been reported. So while the Las Vegas Police Department is trying to battle to put an end to human trafficking, it's important for not only ourselves, but those vacationers to know how to stay safe when out in public, but also things to look out for when they are out, signs of victims when they are out and about. First things first though, I would like to go over what human trafficking is. There are a lot of common misconceptions about it. According to the Homeland Security, human trafficking is defined as the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or a commercial sex act. So human trafficking isn't just sex trafficking. And the demographic there's no criteria. It can be of any age, gender, or race. Just last year in Vegas, the most common was U.S. adult women citizens, and it was for sex trafficking. Most of those that are targeted, the reason they are targeted is because they have a weak demeanor to them. So they're easy to take advantage of, whether through violence, manipulation, promises of good paying jobs, or a relationship. And because of their weaknesses, the traumatization of them through the human trafficking causes them not to go out in public and say anything for help. They don't call the hotlines, they don't reach out to anybody, and so they're typically stuck. A lot of misconceptions and myths about it as well is that human trafficking is the same as human smuggling. Human trafficking can turn into human smuggling, but human trafficking is typically done right in the city that they're at. Another is that human trafficking is the same as sex trafficking. Like I've said before, it is not. It can also be used for labor. Human trafficking victims will go out in public. That's another myth. Like I've said before, they're so traumatized that they will not say anything to anybody in public. Now that we have a brief understanding of what human trafficking is, I'd like to talk about a couple things that the Las Vegas Police Department are doing to help put an end to it. One thing is ride sharing. Over the past couple of years, ride sharing has gained has become more popular over the past few years. A lot of pimps use ride sharing to transport their working girls. So the Las Vegas Police Department has a task force to go around to the rideshare workers to help educate them on what to look for, such as who called for the rideshare. If it was a guy who called for it and then there was a girl who may look like a working girl, chances are that was their pimp that called for the rideshare. Another thing is tattoos. Tattoos on the neck and back are huge. Obviously, there's a chance you may not see them, but just something to look out for. Another thing that the Las Vegas Police Department has gone over is they have partnered with Truckers Against Traffickers. They all make posters, and they have put them up at over 50 bus stops, both in English and Spanish. These posters have been made by victims that were trafficked and they were made in hopes that if it's something that they think they would have seen out when they were being trafficked, that they would gravitate to maybe and call whoever to help them. Now that we've gone over a few of the ways that Las Vegas Police Department is helping end human trafficking, it's also important to know the risk factors and the signs that victims may show when they're out. So the National Center of Safe and Supportive Learning Environments has a long list of risk factors. Some of those are mental illness, family dysfunction, isolation, lack of personal safety. A lot of these can be treated by maybe going out with somebody and not leaving on like a buddy system, getting therapy, medication, anything like that to help reduce your risk. But as myself and majority of others don't necessarily fit into that criteria, it's important to know what to look out for so we can help Las Vegas Police Department and the victims to find victims and help them get out of that trafficking ring. Some of the signs to look for is malnourishment. Like I said before, if you are a rideshare worker, if you know a rideshare worker, look out for who's making the call, the tattoos. If they go to a motel with an older man and they refer to that man as a daddy, untreated STDs, and and if they live at their place of employment. Those are just a few things to look for victims. Obviously, as you can see, human trafficking isn't just fitting under one criteria. It doesn't matter the demographic, it doesn't matter age, sex, gender, race. It's just important that you know what to look out for. It's important to stay safe out there and to know what to look for, and to also know what the Las Vegas Police Department or any city's police department is looking for in order to ensure the safety of yourself and others. Thank you.